What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And yes, listen, look, we have to talk about this. So apparently, Jeff Metcalf showed up at the press conference with Carmelo Anthony's mom was speaking. And we all seen that footage about what she had to say and things like that. Now, be honest with you, I don't get it because at the same time, though, too, why didn't his father speak as the head of the household? But that's neither here nor there right now. I want to present this side of it because the thing of this is, I find this whole situation egregious. This the victim's father showed up to hear what was going to be said and things like that, not out of spite or not out of anger or anything like that. And we're going to go here now, and I'm going to show you a few clips, and then we're going to dive off into the news footage. And where Metcalf was saying that he really wants peace. He's forgiving everybody, but he wants everybody to kind of work together on this situation. So listen, look, we're about to go here now, and we're about to check some things out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and gossip. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing.
I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there.
If someone wants to.
Now, hold on. We heard what Mr. Metcalf had to say. Now, this is the representative. I'm not sure whether or not he's the lawyer for the Anthony family and things like that. But you know what I'm saying? Of course, he's going to be seen a lot throughout this broadcast right here. So let's keep going. Let's see what he had to say in this particular segment.
Say race is not in this situation and shouldn't be. Well, I asked all of those people to join me in calling it out. But don't look at black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play the race card, we live it. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation.
Listen, look, and this is the thing here. Now, and this is the trope that we continue to keep holding on to. Now, if we don't stop this situation about the race card and things like that, yes, it's going to keep going. Anytime a black individual or a white individual gets into a scuffle and somebody ends up, deleted or hurt or anything like that, is of course the race card is going to get pulled and, oh my goodness. And, what I'm saying, everybody got to, pull out, and the Black Lives Matter got to show up, which I'm surprised they hadn't showed up yet. And where's, Al Sharpton and all the rest of these idiots. Just being honest here. This is crazy. And I'm sick of us as black people, pulling every race card all the damn time. Now, listen, look, you heard what Mr. Metcalf had to say. He doesn't even want to play that card. We have to go by case situation. And in this case right here, in this particular case, Mr. Metcalf is like, nah, I don't want to pull this. Let's not pull this card here. Let's not do this. Let's not go there. You know what I'm saying? If Mr. Metcalf is saying this, why are Negroes still out here trying to maneuver this way? Okay, listen, look. Let's keep going. Because, yeah, it's a lot more.
I was able to find out why Jeff Metcalf attended Carmelo Anthony's parents' press conference, and I heard it from his own mouth. But before I let you see and hear what he said, this information was inside of a newscast that was about something totally different related to Austin Metcalf's dad. Someone made a swatting call, which is basically a prank call to bring a lot of police to the scene. Jeff Metcalf was not there and arrived about 5 minutes after police got to his residence. In regards to why he was at the press conference, here's what he said.
Metcalf telling WFAA he was just there to listen.
I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm just here to stand by and witness this press conference.
Now, what question they asked him, I don't know. The newscast also mentioned the news station tried to ask him more questions about how he felt, and they said,
told us he's not talking to any media right now.
I personally feel that it's important to share why Jeffrey Metcalf showed up to this conference, instead of speculating on his intentions, regardless of if we thought that they were good or bad. I hope this clears some things up, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, I had to show that and things like that, you know, because I found that footage. And you know what I'm saying? If that's what he said, then that's what he said. You know, he just wanted to show up and see, you know what I'm saying, what was going on, things like that. This is a grieving father, and they treat him like he's, you know what I'm saying, a fucking suspect, or, you know, like his son was the one that did the deletion, or man, it's wild out here. It is wild out here, man. And man, listen, look. All right, so we're gonna keep diving because it is what it is at this point. And we gotta really break this thing down.
Now to new developments on that deadly stabbing in Frisco. The suspect's family, for the first time, called a news conference to reject some rumors circulating online. Reporter Jobin Paniker says it all changed when the victim's father walked in.
Well, this is such a tragic case, and it is sad all around, but it's also had its share of surprises. And what happened this morning is no different. We were all waiting to hear the Anthony family talk for the first time on the record. It was supposed to start at 11. 10 minutes turned into 20, then 30. The reason? Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, had walked in.
Who was not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. But he did it.
Karmelo Anthony is charged with murder in his son's death at a track meet in Frisco on April 2nd. Jeff Metcalf said nothing. He just stood and waited. The group hosting this told him to leave, or they'd call Dallas police. The group's founder, Dominique Alexander, made this statement.
Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
What is this dude talking about? And I told you he was going to be brought up again. And here we are now. Here we are now. All right. So let's wax this track. What is he talking about? It's a disrespect to his son. First of all, what I showed you in the beginning of this broadcast about what Metcalf's father has, what Jeffrey had said about he doesn't want to, you know, make this any racial issue. He actually wants peace and things like that. He wants to be applicable and try to be compliant and want to work with the family. He understands that the family's going through their side, that he, you know what I'm saying, they're dealing with their things on their end with their son. He's dealing with his end or his son. You know what I'm saying? He may have just wanted to hear the family speak and see how they felt and things like that. And of course, understand where they're coming from too, which he probably does, and things like that. Jesus, man. But you got this cat right here that's in the middle of the way, you know, the middleman. And, you know, he's talking out the side of his neck. He said that, you know, of course, you know, the man wasn't invited. Of course, we get that. You know, he also said that basically it was disrespectful for the victim's father to show up to this, you know, press conference. And then the victim's father should have known better to not be around these people. So what is he saying? What do you mean? Hold on, sir. What do you mean?
The group's founder, Dominique Alexander, made this statement.
Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Jeff.
It's a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Hold on. It's a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. What do you mean, sir? So you're treating the father of the victim like he's the enemy.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we're doing? So he's supposed to know that it's inappropriate for him to come to the press conference of his son's killer's family. Okay. When at the end of the day, though, the man came there in peace. He also said beforehand that he only wants peace. Okay. Hold on. Let's keep.
Dallas Police. The group's founder, Dominique Alexander, made this statement.
Of his son.
Jeff Metcalf was escorted out by DPD before the family arrived to speak. Ultimately, it was not a court order that made him leave, but because the owner of the building said he was trespassing. Metcalf shook hands with officers and then left. This press conference was about hearing from Karmelo's mom, Kayla Hayes, and we finally did.
We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
The family.
Oh, your heart truly goes out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show the faces. I'm gonna show the facial expressions. Hold on. I'm gonna show the face. Yeah, their heart truly goes out to the family, to the victim's family. But when the father shows up, y'all kick him out or allow him to be removed from the building when all he wanted to do was come there and just, you know what I'm saying, hear y'all speak too. So, but your heart goes out to your heart goes out to him though, right? But your heart goes out to him, and but your heart goes out to him though, right? Okay. All right. Maybe so. Maybe your heart still goes out to him, but you don't want him around.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Maybe so. Hey, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Cut the crap out.
Goes out to you.
The family says they've endured threats, lies, and racial harassment over the last 2 weeks.
Our family has been under attack.
Mostly over a fundraising page they say they haven't been able to access until Wednesday. They're fighting claims they're profiting off of this or living lavishly from the funds raised.
We have endured death threats. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family.
We've asked for comment from Jeff Metcalf. He told us not to quote him. We're also told this will be the last time we hear from the Anthony family before a possible trial. But that will not stop all the talk from the outside and any more surprises that have come with this case. In Dallas, I'm Jobin Puneker.
All right. So, you know what I'm saying? But y'all heard what Metcalf said. I guess, you know what I'm saying? They behind the scenes, of course, they did the camera. Metcalf he was just there to, you know what I'm saying, see what was going on. He just wanted to listen. He just wanted to hear y'all. He just wanted to be in the room with y'all. Y'all grieving, he's grieving. And he also stated that he didn't want no issues. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to work with y'all on this situation. But, you know, Black people in the 21st century is pushing hard with these racial issues and things like that. I'm not saying that, you know, the social media and everything else is not going to make it a racial issue due to the facts of the skin color, basically. But the problem is that we're still holding on to these tropes. And another thing about this is that the victim's father has stated that he does not want it to go this way. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, maybe the other side need to come up out of that mindset of it's a racial issue. But, you know, listen, look, you know, the separation is what's keeping the situation truly going with this racial thing. So, all right, let's go here now. Let's see what NBC has to say. Sorry. Let's see what NBC has to say.
Tensions deepening between two Texas families torn apart by a deadly high school track meet stabbing. now playing out in public view. Jeff Metcalf, the father of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, who was killed earlier this month, crashing a news conference on Thursday, held with the family of his alleged killer, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony. Metcalf, wearing dark sunglasses, escorted away by police. He has not commented since his appearance, but spoke to NBC's Dallas-Fort Worth station KXAS earlier this month.
You know what? I already forgive this person. Already. God takes care of things.
After Metcalf was let out on Thursday, Anthony's parents addressed the cameras.
To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
Kayla Hayes, Anthony's mother, offering her sympathies, but also detailing the public backlash against her own family in her first comments since the stabbing.
I mean, like, listen, look, what do you think's going to happen now? You know what I'm saying? That's not Jeffrey Metcalf's fault that this family's getting, that the Anthony family is getting the backlash. That's not his fault. He has nothing to do with that. I'm pretty sure he's getting some backlash too, with the way that the information's playing out, where, you know, of course they're saying that his sons were bullies and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he's getting backlash online too. But of course we're not seeing that side at the moment. But the thing of this is that for them to try to keep, you know, and definitely, well, try to allow that spokesman or whoever he is to try to keep with this race card, you know, the new Al Sharpton out here, you know, keep trying to play these race games and things like that, instead of, you know, allowing the victim's father to just, you know, just listen in. That's all he was there for. I don't understand it. And, you know, man, okay, let's keep going.
We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
Her son was charged with murder after police say he stabbed Metcalf following a verbal altercation at a track meet on April 2nd. They say Anthony admitted to the killing, saying he acted in self-defense. Dominique Alexander, president of the Next Generation Action Network and a spokesman for the Anthony family, spoke to Top Story earlier this week about those claims.
I think that Black America as a general right, is saying, how is it absurd that a Black child is claiming self-defense, but we always see repetitively white children being able to say self-defense and there's no problem.
Now, to speak to that aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? Yes, things do happen. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to be honest and real with y'all out here, man. Yeah, life is not fair. And I get it. Like, you know, yeah, you know, when we see these situations where we see, you know, Caucasian individuals do certain things and they may get away with certain things and stuff like that, or it seems to be that way, or it may be that way technically. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, you know, people are mad about it. But at the same time, though, too, you know what I'm saying? They were wrong. They were wrong. Just like in this situation right here, this young man was wrong. You're at a school event, technically. Track meet at the school. It don't matter. You're at a school event. I don't know what school or whatever that's adjacent to a school event that would allow you to bring any weapons on campus. What are we talking about here? Don't play me. I've done my man. Listen, look, I'm not gonna go into that. Listen, look, I know for a fact nobody can bring any weapons on a school campus, whether it be track and field, whether it be in the actual school building, whether you cannot bring any weapons anywhere near a school. Nobody can, unless you are a paid officer or a police, paid security, or a police officer. 9 times out of 10, most security is not going to have a weapon like that. Man. And see, this is the issue that we're talking about here. Everybody want to sit there. You know, I had a conversation the other day with one of my colleagues about this situation. They brought it up. And I, you know what I'm saying, I stated clear. I'm like, listen, look, man, you know what I'm saying? This young man went to their tent, things like that. He popped up. Well, it was raining. You know, it was raining, this and that. He's supposed to tell the dude, if you had an altercation, listen, look, if I'm happen to be in a neighborhood where the Bloods reside, we talking about Crip blood right now, you know. Well, if I'm happen to be in a neighborhood where the Bloods reside and it just started pouring down rain and I'm a Crip, I'm gonna run into, you know, one of the Blood neighborhood hookah bars or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a Crip, like, come on, dude. I didn't understand what he was talking about. But then, too, I had to get logical on the cat and like, listen, look, dude. At the same time, too, they was at technically a school function. Dude had, you know, the young Anthony had a weapon on him, bro. He already had a weapon in his backpack. He already had a weapon. Well, you know what I'm saying? You know, black folk ain't no telling what he been through, this and that. Dude, you still a kid, bro. You a 17-year-old carrying a knife to school. Any type of weapon, it don't matter. That's illegal. That's still illegal. It don't matter what you went through. It don't matter if you got jumped. Don't matter. You carrying a weapon to school, bro. That's still illegal. Regardless of what went down or whatever.
Monday, a judge lowering Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000, releasing him on strict conditions of house arrest, ankle monitoring, and weekly check-ins with the bailiff. A grand jury still has to decide whether to move forward with an indictment.
I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to.
And Kathy Park joins us now. Kathy, not long after the Anthony family press conference, police were called out to the Metcalf family home. Do we know what happened there?
Yeah, Ellison. So Frisco police say they responded to what was initially reported as a gunshot call to an address linked to Austin Metcalf's family. But officials are now saying it was a case of swatting. You might have heard of it. It's a fake threat intended to get a large law enforcement response. So right now, it is still unclear who made this call, but swatting really is a serious crime, and anyone who is behind it could be facing criminal charges. Ellison?
Kathy Park, thank you.
Wow. So these people are out here making fake calls to the Metcalf family. I wonder why. So mysteriously after Metcalf shows up to the press conference, mysteriously now, okay? Mysteriously after Metcalf shows up to the press conference of the Anderson family, it's a call to his house that gunshots were fired. Wow, man, this is sad right here. This is definitely sad and a crazy situation. Definitely when we see that a father is grieving and he doesn't want any type of egregious things to go down. He doesn't want us to be out here playing the race card. But then, too, it seems like miraculously the black people actually want to play the race card. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.